Dear researcher, this is Dr. Rayas, and in this video I'm going to explain about about variable. What are variables? Importance variable, type of variable, and now jump into the lecture and then find overview of the content of this video. So in this video I will explain everything. What are variables? Why this information is important? Type of variable, defining variable, research purpose and variable, theoretical framework and variable and doing the literature review and practice and explain about. Now, what are we talking about? A variable is something that can be different among a study participant, so that can change as a part of the study. So this word is very important, participant, and change is also very important words here. All study have variables. There are different type of variables. Each is managed differently, has a different role in our research. So, why this is important? Different type of variable are managed in different way. You need to know what to do with different variable in your study. Implication for research design, study organization, implication for data collection. What will you measure? Implication for enhancing study credibility, research control strategy. It's a implication for needed data analysis procedure and so many. So that is the important of variable in the research. Now let me explain different type of variable. Independent variables, dependent variable, extraneous variable, demographic variable. Now on these four I will discuss in detail. Independent variable, the cause is presumed cause and effect relation. The study intervention or treatment situation that is expected to result in a certain outcome may be introduced and manipulated by a researcher. In case of experimental study, may be naturally occurring, may be under control of study. So these are type of independent variable. So the cause is presumed cause and effect relationship in the independent variable. Next is dependent variable. Effect in a cause and effect relationship. Result or outcome of treatment or intervention. These are dependent variables. Difference in amount or quality of the dependent variable depend on difference in the independent variable. So mostly sometimes it is a rule of thumb, we take more independent variable and one or two dependent variable, and mostly the researcher besides their research they take 2, 3, 4, 5 independent variable and one dependent variable. Next, extraneous variable. Variable in research situation that exert an unattended effect on the dependent variable. Extraneous variables are not a part of planned intervention or experiment. They function as a rival explanation for study outcome. Can be considered an innocent or nice factor. So actually in this figure you can say this is a independent variable and this is a dependent variable, and these all are which are nice factor which affect the research is called extraneous variable. So while conducting the research we keep them in mind. Next, a co-founding variable. Co-founder is special type of extraneous variable. Co-founding occur when the association between independent and dependent variable cause and effect relation is either partly or completely due to the third factor that is not a part of experiment. Co-founders are related to the independent, and dependent have a non-dependent cause effect on the dependent variable. So these are extraneous variables. Next, now I would like to share some example of extraneous variable. An example of co-founder: caffeine consumed during pregnancy. For example, cigarette smoking cause a low birth rate infant. Here, caffeine consumed during pregnancy is the independent variable. Low birth weight infant is the dependent variables. And here is the co-founding variable cigarette smoking. So mostly these variables produce nice effect the result. Extended variable, independent variable in the rarely cause. Independent variables, co-founder variable, co-founder absent. So we have sometimes we ignore the confounder variable and sometimes we keep in mind while research. Independent variable absent. If the independent variable absent, then we have co-founder variables only. Variable. A confounder variable is the confounder present, confounder absent. Independent variable here, confounder, independent variable and confounder. Next is demographic variable. Characteristic of study participant often function as extraneous variable, sometimes seen to function as independent variable. Important demographic variables are age, sex, education, socio-economic status, race, ethnicity, health, and so on. Researcher role with a different variable. Independent variable must be consistently applied. And I have already said they must be more than one. So dependent variable must be carefully measured. So independent variable we applied and dependent variable we measure. External variable must be recognized and controlled if possible. So we must control the extraneous variable. Demographic variable must be documented, sometime or controlled. Defining variable. All variables need to have both a conceptual definition and operational definition. First, conceptual definition. The thinking definition of variable, a description of concept that is the foundation of variable, involves using other concept, the mental picture of variable that the researcher is using. The pain is conceptualized as a subjective feeling of discomfort. Operational definition, the measurement definition of variable, a description of how the quality or amount of variable will be determined for the purpose of study. So now I would like to share one example. Pain will be operationalized as the participant's self-report of amount of pain as reported on to 0 to 10 point scale, where 0 indicate no pain and at all 10 indicate the worst pain imagined. So here we make the variable. Sometimes when patient go to the doctor and doctor ask on the 0 to 1 scale, you have a if you have a no pain, it means you have a it's 0, then no pain. If 10, it's the worst pain, and sometimes the patient said it's a 7, 8, 6, and after this variable, doctor determine the intensity of the pain. Discrete versus continuous variable. Discrete variable that differ in terms of quality or characteristic. When measured, these variables placed into category. So discrete variable we put into category. Category by different quality, nominal, name, level data, relative amount, ordinary level data, sex, moderate, and severe pain are example of discrete variable. Continuous variable. Variable that different amount. Measurement of these variables reflect how much of the variable is present in absolute term. Measurement value fall among the continuum. These variables constitute internal or ratio level. So Example, pulse rate, temperature, length of the hospitalization, number of hours are example of continuous variable. Research purpose and variable. All research has extraneous variable, cause and effect research has independent and dependent variable, descriptive research on a single search variable, correlation research focus on linkage between pair or set of variables, predictive research has predictor and outcome variables. So all kind of research has variable. Three conditions for detecting cause and effect relation. Temporality, independent variable, how it change must take place before dependent variable and its change. Influence, the effect of independent variable on the dependent variable can be detected with the statistic and probability that relation was caused by them. Specificity, reliable explanation for observed relation between the independent and dependent variable can be ruled out. Theoretical framework and variable. A theoretical framework is explanation how different concepts are related to one another. The idea to be tested in study, the hunches, assumptions that guide to study, a map of how the different concepts in the research problem are linked to each other. Concepts are too abstract to be measured directly, so they are translated into variable. Variable and doing a literature. Variable can be useful as search term for doing a literature review, intervention interest, independent variable, outcome of interest, dependent variable, population interest, demographic variable, and here you can see all type of variable are found. Let us practice. Question 1. Identify the independent variable in the following research question. How does effectiveness of smoking cessation education for teenager boy differ when it is provided by nurses completed by physician? So smoking cessation education, teen age, type of providers. Identify the dependent variable here. And next is there are different type of variable you can find in this example. I hope that you have learned this lecture and now you understand what are variable, type of variable like independent variable, dependent variable, extraneous variable, confounding variable, and so on. And when you will conduct this search, you will apply it. If you like this video, please hit the bell icon and subscribe my channel and give the